Sam, I want to ask, obviously it was probably a very challenging week for the team with the unexpected challenges with the last game and then traveling to Kansas City. How's everyone doing emotionally in terms of being prepared for the game tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I think, we're pretty good. Obviously not super ideal, but that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. And I think you can't get too hung up on, how something looks and how it should have looked. I think this group is great at, just kind of sticking with it and still committing to, game plans and next games and kind of just taking care of business when we need to. So yeah, I think overall, we're great, we're good, we're excited for the game, and hopefully, we can get some points.
But obviously, Kansas City's had a historically stellar season so far this year. You're one of the few teams that's actually beat them. In fact, the last team to beat them. What sort of confidence does that give you going into this game tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately, it just lets you know that they're beatable. Obviously, they're a really great team and they have so many, um, excellent players and threats all over the field. But again, I think being able to be, maybe one of the few teams that has been able to beat them just kind of gives you um, a little bit of confidence and honestly just a chip on your shoulder to be able to, go out again and try and do that again.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Steve. And then Charles can't come off mute right now, but he wants to ask, what has it been like to watch Jess Fishlock's run of form since the Euros, and just from your perspective, sharing the field with her?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think obviously, she's an amazing player, and I think, she, watching her in person, I think obviously this is my first, true year being able to play with Seattle and be here this season. I think it's been amazing to see just what she can do. She is a game changer. She can come on and absolutely just change the game, like she did this past weekend. And I think there's just so much to learn from her, even obviously on the field, but also just, how she carries herself and just her experience and knowledge that she carries. She's great. She's amazing.
Thanks. Steve, do you have another one, or are you all good there?
Sorry, I was on mute. No, I'm all good. Good
Okay.
luck tomorrow, Sam.
Thank you.
We just got one more, Sam, but
Okay.
you're playing in the midfield, but having like a back line that just like is pretty reliable. They can rotate around, play multiple
Mhm.
positions. What is it like having a back line behind you, with veterans, but also younger players too,
Mhm.
like all around?
Yeah, I mean, I think, this season has been, I think, the season where we have been able to really commit and, be really strong defensively. I think that's a big part of like our game and, our, I guess, like one of our greatest attributes is defensively. So obviously, having someone like Phoebe who is, an amazing defender, who is aggressive, who reads the game well, honestly, steps in when, we need her to. I think obviously that is huge and it it's just comfortable, right? Like it allows you to play and be what you need to be. And then obviously somebody like JB who's extremely young but obviously super, super talented and has such a bright future, who is calm and composed on the ball. And then you have, MC and Sophia who are both, amazing defensively and, they can get up the line and do a little bit of both. And then, Lou who honestly it's just kind of a quarterback back there. Like it comes with experience. She's super smart, very smart in the way that she plays. So yeah, ultimately I think, it playing in the midfield, it gives me the confidence to also be able to do what I need to do and take care of my, I guess, spaces and um, players that I need to. But yeah, definitely, I think it's been amazing. And yeah,
Cool. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Sam.
thank you.
Laura, thanks for taking time to talk to us today. Obviously, it's been probably a difficult and weird week in terms of training and preparation and everything. I wonder how's the team doing overall, having just come off of, like, I'm sure a very emotional game on Tuesday and going into a very difficult game tomorrow.
Yeah, it's obviously not been ideal preparation for this game, but we managed to train today, and today was the first time really that we spoke about Kansas. So we feel good. I think the week has definitely been challenging, but this group's resilient and actually does really well with adversity. And obviously this week we're hit with a lot of adversity, and thankfully came through it. And tomorrow will be no different. You know, the team that we're facing is obviously very good and in great form, and we know it's a difficult place to come to, but we're going to give it everything we've got to try and get some points on the board.
And as you mentioned, I think the Kansas City is now undefeated in 13. You were the last team to beat them, and I think they have not even given up a goal in 9 games, maybe, or 8 games. What do you think has made them so difficult for teams to play against this year, and what are you going to need to do tomorrow to get a result?
Yeah, I think they just have threats everywhere. I think that's hard to play against. Obviously, Chewinga's a unique talent that you have to be willing to deal with, and by dealing with her, sometimes it opens up space for other people as well. So I think we're sort of preparing to try and nullify their threats as much as we possibly can, knowing that we can cause them problems on the other side of the ball when we win it. But, you know, knowing last year and this year when we've played them, even though the scoreline when we came here last year wasn't great, we actually did pretty well against them for a long period of the game. We just had like a 90-second moment of madness where we gave up 3 goals. So like nullifying that as much as we can, trying to stay in the game for as long as we can, and believing in the game plan that we've got prepared for them, and knowing that we can tweak and change it if we need to.
We saw last game you shifted Phoebe to the left and Lou into the middle in the center back trio. I wonder if that was something specific that you saw against Racing you wanted to try, or if that's something we might see again going forward.
You have to wait and see on that one.
And last one for me, team announced today that Ryan is off the injury list and is available. That's great news. How are other injured players doing in terms of their recovery?
They're doing okay. Anna got a knock the day before the Tuesday game that she hasn't quite recovered from. Lynn isn't quite ready yet. Cassie isn't ready yet. And everyone else is available. I think it's maybe a little too soon for Ryan, but we obviously wanted to try and get her off that season-ending injury list as quick as we could, to give her the best chance to be available whenever that time comes. So we may not see her tomorrow in the 20, but we were really happy with what's been like a really tough week for a lot of players and staff. Just to get some good news, like being able to get Ryan off the season-ending injury list was a good start to our day today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Laura, Charles can't come off mute, but he does have a question. Speaking of Ryan Brown, just with the news today that coming out of her extension and getting off the SEI list,
Yeah.
can you just talk a little bit more about the progress you've seen her make over the last year?
Yeah, you know, I actually had a good chat with Ryan last night. I think, obviously, anyone who does their ACL knows it's such a difficult journey to get back from. And she was flying in the summer. She was doing really good and felt great. And then, you know, it often happens with players where something else in their body just doesn't feel as good as their knee does right then. So she's been recovering from something else that isn't related to her knee since July, really. So I think we're very cautious that we definitely want to get her back, but we want to get her back safely. We want to get her back where she feels comfortable and confident to be able to go out and do what she wants to do. In regards to the football side of it, honestly, that's sort of separate to me right now. It's just about getting Ryan in a confident and comfortable place to be able to get any form of minutes on the field whenever that time can come.